What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Underdog Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Nolan Skeen, alongside Antonio Fiore, Sal Estrina. Gentlemen, how are we?
Fantastic.
Not bad.
Another day.
Another dollar.
Another dollar. Am I right? Huh?
Yes.
Huh? I see you're wearing your Yankee stuff. I'm wearing my Red Sox stuff.
He's still a little sad.
Why? I still wear the shirts.
Yeah, do you have to?
Why don't they serve hot dogs at Yankee Stadium?
What?
Why don't they serve hot dogs
Because of the Fenway,
at Yankee Stadium?
Fenway Frank?
Because they're closed.
But
Okay, so moving on. So the Red Sox.
I thought it was funny.
The Red Sox moved on to the ALCS while we were gone.
Great games all around. I thought
Tremendous.
I think a lot of people thought after the second game it was racks after it was 5-2 after the first inning, and I mean it was looking pretty bad. Sale came out after one inning of pitching, and then they brought on right-hander Chris Sale, and Tanner Houck pitched a phenomenal 5 innings of relief, as good as you could have hoped for. And the Red Sox offense has been coming around the last 3 days. So, I mean, you can't really ask for much more if you're a Red Sox fan, especially considering the fact that call also went their way too in Game 3 with the ground rule double.
I mean, that was the right call.
It is the right call.
It is a correct call. At the same time, I think they still could have used discretion and sent like the runner home because he was off on the pitch. I don't know that that's 100% right, but he was going to score.
I thought about that. And my thing was, I think that they didn't because there was 2 outs. Because if he caught it, like obviously he's still going to be running. I don't know. That was the way I thought about it.
It was just a weird play. Like that, you never see that. Like you 100 times out of 100 never see that play. And yet it happens in the biggest spot of the game.
And did you see the Rays were the beneficiary of that call a couple of years
2 years ago against Toronto, and Kevin Cash knew the rule and he came out and argued it. So as shitty as it is for Tampa Bay, I guess technically by the letter of the law it was the correct calling. So
It was.
Regardless of how the ball bounces, it bounced towards the Red Sox, and as Red Sox fans, except for Antonio, we are very
100%.
happy. So,
I get my dream ALCS. This is outstanding.
Your dream ALCS is Yankees Astros, no?
No, I was so sarcastic.
Oh.
Red Sox and Astros. Are you kidding me?
I mean,
you think I want to watch that?
ALCS without his team.
I thought it was kind of serious, but
I don't want to play the Astros in the ALCS. No.
Yeah, you want to play like
the Astros are the
you want to play the Orioles?
Give me the Twins.
Yeah, the Twins. No, they love
the
playing
Astros
the Twins.
are the Packers of the MLB.
The Astros are kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
I know the White Sox aren't as good as we
It's crazy
think.
how good they are.
But the Astros are pretty.
That
damn
lineup
good.
only
No
gets
one
on
cares.
base. They live for just getting on base. They don't care how
no
they
one
do
just
it.
talks. No one talks to them because everybody hates them.
Everyone hates them.
So like no one wants to talk about how great they are, but they're
Correa
really
has
good.
been outstanding so far. I think he batted like 450.
And
in the
they're
4
kind of
games.
like the opposite of the Yankees.
Who, the Astros?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
they don't really care to hit the home run. They do it often.
Yeah, they're
but
on base
not-
machines. Yeah, I agree with you completely. Actually, they're just all they're trying to do is pass the baton. They just want the next person to get on base, then the next person that's on base, then the next person has a 3-run double, and it's like, oh shit, now we're down 3 runs. Now the other team thinks we have to hit a 3-run home run at that point.
Which I think the Red Sox have the capability to do that. They just haven't because they've been hitting home runs, and I think that it's I think we might get to see it in this series. I don't know. This is gonna be a really good series.
It's gonna be a phenomenal series. I want Antonio's take on the Houston-Chicago series. I mean, obviously, Houston won, but you think
pretty handedly.
Do you think Chicago should have played better? Do you think Chicago did anything wrong?
It's hard to say because their division sucks. I thought they had a really good team. Their offense, like it looks pretty loaded.
So
They got
the third game they put up 12 runs, and I think the other 3 games they put up a combined 5 or 4.
I guess it's either they just explode or they implode. Their
Any-
pitching could have been better. I thought much higher of what they're pitching.
Any doubts in La Russa? Or you don't think it was
I
a
mean,
La
if he
Russa
gets
problem?
canned, I'm not going to be surprised.
Bro, he can't move. He can't walk.
They're probably leaning towards letting him go.
On the memes,
honestly.
dude, I feel so bad for that.
He is just so old. I don't know how you
And
keep him around.
he took a loss to his arch rival Dusty Baker.
Mm-hmm.
So
Dusty Baker. He's a character, huh?
He's one of like the last managers that is free to manage by his gut, that doesn't have to listen to the front office.
I cannot believe this. He invented the high five.
He did, yeah.
What?
What?
The high five is not that old. It's crazy.
He
isn't
invented the
Dusty
high five.
Baker invented the high five.
Yeah, he was on the Dodgers.
Can you believe
Is
that?
he as old as Dust?
1971, 79, something like that.
We're in the 70s.
So you're telling me before 1979
There were no
one-
high fives.
There were no high
No one
fives.
high-fived ever.
I guess not.
Imagine being at a baseball game, someone hits a home run.
Handshakes. I'm going to go ahead and call bullshit on it.
Not bullshit. There's literally articles written about it. There, you can go back in history.
I've seen ESPN segments on this.
100% true. 100%. And I did not. Your mind's.
So he was the first one just said, you know what? I'm going to slap this other person's palm of their hand. Like, so did he do it on purpose or was it just like a...
There was literally a picture of him and one of his players.
I bet people were doing like soccer handshakes before that.
Yeah, they just like kind of did one of these, like the sideways, like grab each other's hands. No, there's a picture of him and one of his players, and he was coming like to the dugout after he hit a home run. And the first picture ever taken, the first high five ever, but there's a picture taken too, is them just high fiving right outside the dugout.
In 1979.
It was either 71 or 79, but that was the first. He invented the high five.
That kind of just blew my mind.
Blew it, bro. I sat there and thought about it for like an hour when I heard about it. I was like, "There's no way that's real. 100% real."
That's like one of those things where it's like you're gonna be a grandfather, you're gonna be like 90, and you're gonna be telling your grandkids that like I invented the
Millions
high
of
five.
people do it every day.
Thanks, Dusty.
Every single day.
That makes me like him 5,000 times more.
Astros are winning the World Series.
So it's
Wow, so that means that my grandparents were alive before that.
Our parents.
My parents were
Oh.
born before that.
You guys.
Yeah. Anyways, that was a little off topic, but no, Houston played very well. I mean, I don't have any real complaints about Dusty at all. Their lineup's hitting. McCullers looks like an ace. I mean,
You
Houston's
gotta
just
think about it with their lineup. Dusty Baker has the easiest job in the world.
it's just put out the same lineup every day, and they're gonna hit. Like, there's nothing more to it. Now, ALCS. As a Red Sox fan, I don't know that you can throw Sale in Houston, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't think it's the smartest thing to
Has
do.
to be Evaldi.
I think it has to be Evaldi and Erod the first two games, then you go Sale game 3.
Yeah, I think you still got to be kind of careful with Sale. Because he's shown inconsistency. Plenty of it.
He did not look good the last couple of starts of the year, and he looked awful in that Tampa Bay start. So, high alert.
Yeah. No, I don't really
I
like
think they
Erod
need him
either.
to be great if they want to get there. I really do.
No, I wholeheartedly believe that. Oh, Eovaldi's pitched way above his head. So it's like at that point, is it going to keep?
Wait, I actually think Evaldi is a very good pitcher, though. But I mean,
Okay, but
I
is he
think they're
going to
need
keep
more.
going 7 innings and giving up 1 run?
I'm sure he's going to
might.
have,
No, he
might
might.
have one bad
Hey,
start,
no,
but he could very. We've seen pitchers get this hot before in the playoffs.
I'm rooting for Eovaldi, but you're going to have games where you don't have your stuff, or you're not able to get through the lineup. So
Remember Matt Carpenter?
yeah,
How he went insane in the playoffs.
yeah.
Yeah,
It does happen. No, it definitely does happen. I mean, but he's wearing a Beckett jersey. There was one year where Beckett got extremely hot, and I think he had 3 complete games and 2 shutouts. And
Josh Beckett was the man.
yeah, 2007, he was unbelievable.
He was the man back in the day. Yeah,
And
no,
Beat the Yankees
it's
in the World
definitely a
Series, too.
mindset.
Marlins.
It's
Yeah.
more of like a mental thing, and I think Nathan Evaldi definitely has that mindset,
I do too.
and that's
You have
what
the Nathan Eovaldi mindset.
I believe he does have it.
Okay.
He might have it.
He has the Nathan Eovaldi mindset.
He does.
NL side.
I think the
I mean, the Braves are in the ALCS.
Who's
Cool.
winning? Who's winning tomorrow night?
The Giants. The Giants are winning.
did the Brewers choke? A little
Brewers
bit?
choked a little bit. Well, they also scored
They did. Yeah,
no
they choked.
runs in 2 straight games, and if you're gonna win in the
'Cause
playoffs,
they're like the
you
Yankees. They-
can't
And
do
Yelich
that.
didn't.
They
Yelich
rely
didn't
too
come
much
through.
on the long ball.
They did rely too much on the long ball. They also relied too much. Well, I don't want to say they relied too much on Yelich, but Yelich just didn't give them
No.
anything. And Colton Wand also gave them nothing. So when two of your top 3 hitters are not producing in the lineup, you're not really going to do
The
anything.
pitching looked great as it always does the entire series, but they just did not score. They didn't score at all.
I hate Atlanta because they do this every year, and you just know they're losing in the next round. I'm sorry. I don't see any way they make the World Series.
I don't either.
I don't care which team it is. They're not beating either of those teams.
Yeah, between San Fran
Definitely
And hey,
overachieved.
Hey, good for Atlanta. You know, you're a winning franchise, but
If they had Acuna and
it might be a different story. And
yeah,
Soroka,
it could be a different
it definitely could be a different story. But I just don't see it.
they blew a 3-1 lead to the Dodgers last year.
Yes, they did.
So
Maybe if it's Dodgers Braves, then they'd had some revenge.
yeah,
but
as long as
I think that's the only shot they have.
For me,
of
the World
winning
Series-
is if the Dodgers somehow beat the Giants, which I don't think is very possible.
no, I think the
Giants are way
got
too
it.
good.
Giants are a wagon.
And
As
I think
long as it's the
that
Dodgers.
series has been exactly how I think it should have played out.
One split, and then game
Split,
5.
split, and then like not very entertaining games. You know, pitching.
The Giants
is
wins have
excellent.
been
I think they're
entertaining.
pretty
The
entertaining.
Dodgers wins have not been because the Dodgers have just shitted on them the 2 games that they won. So, I mean, their lineup when it gets going is scary, but then they also have times where they can't hit the ball. Like they literally, like no one in their lineup hits.
Yeah.
But then when someone in their lineup gets a big hit, they're all just like, "Wow, I forgot we're the Dodgers. Like we can hit." Like
I forgot we have one of the best rosters in baseball.
so, their bullpen is very good too. Both those teams' bullpen is very good.
I feel like if the Giants do end up getting to the World Series, and no matter the opponent, Red Sox or Astros, I just look at like those 3 teams, and it's not even close with the Giants and the Astros and Red Sox. If that were to be a matchup, I don't think it's much of a contest for the American League. I made
agree.
a
I think
joke
the
the other
Giants-
night.
You also have
that
been
the
saying
Giants
that
lose
for a
them in
while.
3.
Huh?
Yeah,
Giants in 3.
yeah, the Giants in 3. Yeah.
Yeah, the Giants are. If the Giants do make it to the
They're
World Series,
far and
they're
away
winning.
better than those 2 teams.
Yeah, they're
Mhm.
winning. It's just their destiny.
When they get there, they win.
The team of destiny,
what
like
happens.
the
The Nationals. That's how this podcast started. Was the team of
The
destiny.
Giants are the team of destiny.
It definitely feels that way this year.
Although I do love the team of destiny and being the Red Sox, just because they've proven everyone wrong
They
up until
have.
this point.
I mean, everyone. I don't want to say everyone, but a lot of people were picking the Yankees in that playing game, and then a whole bunch more of people were picking the Rays to win that series. So they're 2-0 and proving the doubters wrong. Now it's just on to Houston and seeing what happens.
Got
there.
it done
I'm
in
sure
Game
Houston
4,
will be
not even in
favored.
Game 5.
What happened?
I'm sure Houston will be favored too.
Oh, Houston's
They're gonna- yeah.
100. I know for a fact Houston's favored in that series. Not heavily, but they're definitely the favorite.
So I mean, they have that now again.
We'll get to see.
Before we move off of baseball, I saw something the other day that Hal Steinbrenner, who I think should speak publicly more about the Yankees, did speak publicly, and it seems like he says he's inclined to lean toward bringing Aaron Boone back. Great.
Are you serious?
If he does, there is going to have to be extreme changes in the lineup and the players that are on the team. There's going to be moves that have to be made because the team just has to get more athletic.
I feel like I've been
Teams
watching
like the Giant, they're the Rays and the Red Sox. They are much more athletic than the Yankees. They can run the bases, they can steal bases, they strike out less. And I know all the things about, you strike out more, you're getting less double plays. Well, I don't give a shit. If you have faster players, you're not going to grind in double plays.
I've seen the same Yankees team for 5 years under
I
Aaron
have
Boone.
too.
I haven't seen any market improvement. I've seen stagnation on that team. So I don't know why you would want to keep Aaron Boone if you're the manager.
And like some players, like Aaron Hicks, I have no use for you. Get out, please. I will gladly release Joey Gallo.
yeah,
If you can't trade
he
him,
hurt
release
you
him.
more than he helped you.
Oh yeah.
And you have too many of those players, like you said. You have too many strikeout or home run guys. It's you gotta be able to run the bases. You gotta be able to field a little bit better. Like Glaber's not the best fielder. Some of your guys, like I don't know.
If they traded Glaber, I wouldn't be mad.
I mean, both you might need that. He might need that, and you guys might need that because you could get a good piece for Glaber. It's not like you're not going to get
He
anything for him.
was number 2 prospect in baseball not too long ago.
I'm telling you, Gary Sanchez is going to Tampa Bay and hit 40 home runs next year.
I could see him in a Tampa Bay jersey, and
and he just turns into friggin' Yogi Berra after that. That's literally what would happen.
do you know who's? I've been like thinking of trade. I saw this today. Bleacher Report put out trade predictions, and one of the trades. And this is so this guy is such a Red Sox. I could so see him in a Red Sox uniform. Him being a fan favorite, Sonny Gray. I could see him going there and just being nasty.
I don't want that at all.
But I could just see him in a Red Sox uniform. I can, and just pissing on
Alex
the Yankees.
Verdugo seems to be the
He would
fan
piss on the
favorite right
Yankees.
now.
No, Kyle Schwarber is the most Red Sox player I've ever seen in my life.
They have a lot of Red Sox guys
No.
on their team right now. Like,
What, a guy that looks like a fat slob with a beard?
yes, that's the typical Red Sox guy.
Oh, Kyle Schwarber is just like he's from Waltham or Waltham or however.
Waltham?
Yeah, however
Yeah.
you say it. But it's just so funny because I picture a Red Sox player and I just see Kyle Schwarber.
It's almost like they
picture
do it on
Kevin
purpose.
No, Kevin Youkilis is a good one.
I swear they do it on purpose.
You
they do.
look at Bobby Dahlbeck now. He looks like a kid. He's all clean shaved.
But
In
they're
5
like,
years,
he's gonna get a beard.
No, in 5 years he's gonna look like a
They're like,
he's
Bobby,
gonna
you
look like a
need
slob.
to put on 30 pounds and grow a beard.
I love Veritek in the dugout. Just like seeing him, I'm like, yeah, Jason.
Yeah.
When
Jason Veritek was
and,
the all-time Red Sox.
God rest his soul. Just remember Stephen Wright. That guy came up and I'm like, that guy's a Red Sox.
Yeah.
Or you just look at like Mike Napoli, Johnny Gomes.
Yeah, Mike Napoli.
Like those are typical like Red Sox.
Yes,
guys.
they are, and they just have the feel of like one of those really.
Clay Buchholz.
They have the feel of like a really.
He's like the ugliest
good
human
Red
being
Sox team.
ever.
Clay Buchholz.
Buchholz, yeah.
Yeah.
He was good for a couple seasons.
John Lester, he was a good Red Sox
Clay
guy.
Buchholz.
Yeah.
We want to move to football.
Sure.
Shall we?
Baltimore had an insane comeback on Monday night.
It was funny too because I didn't get to catch like the first half. I think I started watching it right when the Tide switched. So I hadn't seen how well the Colts were playing. So fill me in. Were like the Colts really dominating them, or was it more the Ravens were letting them kind of do
The
whatever?
Ravens couldn't really move the ball, and it was more or less the fact that like third play of the game, Jonathan Taylor hit a 70-yard screen pass for a touchdown, so they kind of had the momentum just right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
But Indy, they had that fumble. The Ravens had that fumble by the goal line, and then Indy scored again to start the second half, or like midway through the second half. So they had like all the momentum, and it was feeling like, Ravens just don't have it tonight. They're going to pack it in. Like it's going to be, one of those.
Then Lamar Jackson.
And then Lamar just end of the third, fourth quarter just turned up. And I feel like I don't think I've ever seen one of those games from Lamar where he's behind throwing the football and he's just a wagon, like completion after completion after complete. Like he just wasn't missing throws. And like normally Lamar's good for a couple missed throws a game, and he was just phenomenal on Monday night.
I think he's improving, and that's something that I don't know. I don't seem to be seeing in some other quarterbacks where like I don't see any improvement. I don't see any sort of adaptation to what they're given. Whereas Lamar, the past few years, they're like, he's just a running back. He's just gonna pound it down your throat, and he's like, okay, I'll go learn how to throw the ball better.
All right. Top 5 quarterbacks right now, Antonio. Let's hear it.
Josh Allen, Patrick. I'm not in order.
That's fine.
Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert. Oh, actually, Tom Brady's in there.
Is that 5?
It's 4.
That's 4.
I'm indifferent about Aaron Rodgers and Kyler Murray.
So not Lamar.
It's tough because like I can switch out like Herbert too, and throw Lamar.
It's
in
different
there.
because like what I like about these
There's so many good ones.
what I like about these younger quarterbacks is they're so different.
They all have their little quirks.
Like you look at Justin Herbert, Lamar, Kyler Murray, like they just are so different in their own unique ways. Like
Justin Herbert is beautiful.
like
Yeah.
like Kyler can't do what Justin Herbert can do. Justin Herbert can't do what Lamar can do, and Kyler can't do what Lamar can do. Lamar can't do it. It's like they each have their own ways of being really good.
Mm-hmm.
So who are your guaranteed top 5 right now? Like,
Patrick
I would say
Mahomes,
Patrick
Josh
Allen,
Allen.
and Brady.
Tom Brady, yeah.
Tom Brady's gonna throw 75
The
touchdowns.
other
You guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but I think Tyler is definitely top 5 right now.
He's
Good.
in my top 5 right now.
I-
If we're looking at right now from this season,
You can't say he's not.
I
can't
think
say
he
he's
is better than Lamar.
I
So
do
that's
too.
why would
I do
put
too.
him-
in
that's why I
terms
play
of
him
what
at
we've
5.
seen this season, I think he's
So
better.
it's like really a matter of like, is Herbert better? Is Dak better? Is kind of that like second tier of guys better? And I would if I had a team right now, I'd take Herbert over Lamar, but it's definitely close. It's a very close discussion between those two.
I think I would take Herbert for sure, 100%.
Herbert's arm
So would I.
is
It's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
You see him hit throw after throw.
Well, the
after
thing
throw
is,
he can still
downfield.
be mobile.
The
too.
the thing about him is, it's like the ball will travel 60 yards, but he like doesn't move. Like he just like he's just a statue, and then he just loads up his arm, and it's just there
It's
in
a
a second.
cannon.
It's a cannon.
It's like the pull. When they pull the little thing and the cannon fires. Like they got one of those behind him.
He has been so impressed. I mean, not only last year, he won Rookie of the Year last year, but this year, phenomenal. So I liked the over in that Browns game, but I did not expect it to be 47-42. I can tell you that much.
I said that the Chargers would score 40. I didn't think that
the Browns would
could
also score 40.
But I mean, it turned out to be a really great game. And I feel like when I was watching that game, we always get one game like that every year in the regular season. Normally, I think it's like a primetime game, but we always get one of those like college shootout games, and I love it.
They're so fun.
Big 12 game.
Fun. Yeah, you get one of those where it's like 48-45.
How'd you think that the Eckler play was nuts? They literally just dragged him into the end zone.
Oh my God, I know. But that was so smart. For
No,
like that
it
moment
was.
in the game.
It was.
And then,
So if you're Staley, why do you not kneel instead?
I didn't understand that either, but
I mean, it works out, so I guess it doesn't matter. But at the same time, if your goal is to not score, you shouldn't run
because
a
Eckler
play.
had a chance to get in the end zone the play before and
He
slid.
sat down. Yeah.
So I think I was surprised too when I was watching that game. I was like, wow, they're actually like running a play here. Because I think there was like a minute 8 seconds left.
Minute 10, yeah, something like
Cleveland still had 1 or 2 timeouts, I think. So I don't know.
oh
So-
wow, harping back on the Baltimore and Colts game. So on Monday, going into Monday in fantasy football, I was up in our league, another league, 117-68.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor.
Who play that night was Lamar Jackson and Marquise Brown.
And you lost
And
by
they
a point.
combined for 100 points.
Did they really?
In this league, Lamar
had
had
Mark Andrews
65
on mine.
and Marquise Brown had 40.
Jeez.
Mark Andrews also had almost 40, I think. Mark Andrews
Yeah,
was...
and Taylor had like 38 or 35 or something like that. That's ridiculous.
Big,
that
big
was
fantasy
So
production.
I've learned this with Cleveland, and it kind of is baby Lamar Jackson syndrome. I don't trust Baker in the last drive of the game or when they're down and he has to throw.
I think you
seen
could
that
tell
they
in their
also
play
don't
calling
trust
too that
him.
they don't trust him.
I mean,
wow, we kind of had the same.
yeah, that was the same exact thought.
that 3rd and 10 play where they ran the ball.
Yep. I mean, it's just a matter of like, all right, if you're down in the game and you have Baker leading your 2-minute drive, you don't feel comfortable. Like, you're not going to sit there and be like, ooh, like, I really think Baker's going to make this 3rd and 8 throw on the sideline. Like, he's probably going to miss it, and you're probably going to have to punt. Or you're
Got to
Yeah,
take the
he's
shot.
not very
That late in the game,
accurate.
you got to take the shot.
So, I don't know. Baker, if they had, like, a little bit better of a quarterback, I think they would be the best team in the AFC. I just think Baker holds them back a little bit. And it's not anything against Baker.
It's not, because I think he's a very good quarterback, but they just...
I think there's an obvious disconnect with him and the receivers. Like we
when
said,
he
his
doesn't have
only-
Jarvis, he's a completely different quarterback too. So it's like when
and I don't understand why.
security blanket, I guess. I
Yeah,
mean, like when
Jarvis is like he's a possession receiver, and Baker doesn't really throw it down the field that much. He likes his 10, 15-yard passes.
think about this.
But you would think Austin Hooper would be a bigger.
There were 40.
I did too.
They scored what, 42,
Yeah.
and Odell had 1 catch for 10 yards or 11 yards.
Yeah.
How is that?
So
How
does he just suck now?
I don't know that he
I
sucks.
just think it's the wrong environment. I think he has to leave again.
Well, they've been talking about that for 2 years, that they're going to trade him at the end of the season, and then he ends up on the team the next year. So I don't think he's going anywhere.
I think last year was kind of different because he got hurt, so they probably couldn't really trade.
I think
him.
they would be so much better off getting like a tight end. I mean, they have plenty of tight ends, but like just a different piece for him. Like if they could trade Odell for like a young tight end and like a linebacker or something, that would be the
I
ideal
think if
trade.
they have an opportunity to trade away Odell and then maybe trade away Baker and get a top draft pick if there's a good quarterback coming out in the next few years, that's a good class, because this might be a Arizona Cardinals situation, realizing that Josh Rosen wasn't it, where they have to move off. If you really believe that Baker Mayfield is not going to do it for you, you have to move off of him. It's doing him no good by holding on to him, and it's doing your team no good by holding on to him if it's just not working. It may not even be that Baker, because we've seen good things from Baker. It may not even be that. It may just be that it is just not the right fit in this situation. You know what I mean?
Could be true.
What do you think? What do you think the Browns should do?
I mean, you got to let Baker try there. You know, I don't think they should have run the ball in that play.
No, yeah, and I think that's ultimately Kevin Stefanski's
Do you think
fault.
Baker's the answer in Cleveland?
No, I don't think you're winning a Super Bowl with them. But I don't know if it's as simple.
Can you
as,
make the Super Bowl with Baker?
I think their team is insanely good, but
Their defense has to
Is
play
Baker
better.
what's holding them back? I would say yeah.
Their defense has to be more consistent.
I guess so, because they're not gonna, when they end up against a Buffalo or Kansas City in the playoffs, they're not gonna be able to.
Or if
most
they play
likely
the Chargers
keep up with them
again.
on offense unless they can win enough games, get home field advantage, and you get into one of those defensive games with one of those teams. Maybe you got a shot.
Maybe.
Potentially.
Maybe they have an insanely good running game.
I'd gotta give myself a pat on the back. 38-20 was the exact.
That was
correct,
insane.
Exactly correct on
Yep.
the Bills Chiefs game. So
You
I was
did
pretty
get that.
I was pretty proud of myself for that one.
I said too. I was like, we got to get
So
exactly right. on
literally
all of
right
this.
after that, you literally said, "Oh, one of these games will be exactly correct," and it was. So that was a
happy.
good sign. But Buffalo did what I think all three of us actually did pick Buffalo.
We did.
Did
We
what?
loved that revenge narrative.
I mean, revenge narrative and the fact that like they've just been steamrolling
So
teams. So and Kansas City's defense is
It's not good. It's one of the worst in the NFL.
like they don't get stops. Like it's 3rd and 8. And they get no pass rush, and the quarterback sits there for 5 minutes, and then finds the open receiver. It's like if you're not going to
It's
hit,
too easy for someone like Josh Allen.
you either got to blitz or you got to drop everybody. You got to rush 3 and drop 8. Like you can't. There's no like rushing 5 and still not getting home because they love doing that. So
here's the thing with the AFC is, like we were just talking about the Browns. Do you still see the Chiefs as like the only
No.
team that could make it to
no,
the Super Bowl?
not at all.
So if
Not
not,
anymore.
it's
Not at all.
So if
Literally not
it's
at-
the
no.
Bills, the Browns, and maybe
The Bills,
Chargers.
the Bills, and the Chargers are the 2 favorites right now.
I definitely agree.
I truly believe that. And the Chargers have no home field advantage either, so they're better off going on the road. I honestly not believe that.
I still think there's a very good opportunity for the Chiefs to turn it around.
They can
And
still
I
very
think-
well go to
and
the
I
Super Bowl.
think
I think
Now
so.
that
But there's other teams that can make it.
I think
I'm just saying
there's-
it's
I
not
have a
only
bad
Kansas
feeling
City.
that with everything that's happened with the Raiders, they're going to fall apart. And I think Kansas City might take advantage.
I think there's a
Well,
sub.
they're 3-2. It's
So-
not like they're 4-1 or
Who, the
5-0.
Chiefs or the Raiders?
The Raiders.
The
yeah,
Raiders.
3-2. No, I think there's a sub 5% chance the Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl. You
don't know
cannot
about
make
that.
it to a Super Bowl with that defense. I'm sorry. If they improve the second half of the year and maybe get a piece and
They've done that before.
fire their defensive coordinator, I don't know, whatever they have to do to get their defense better. If they do it, sure, they have a chance.
They can't fire Spags.
He sucks. I mean, not all time. He
3
sucks.
times Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, whatever.
I think as long as they have Mr. Number 15, they'll be fine.
They'll be fine, but I don't think they're going
I
anywhere
think
this
as
year.
long as you have Patrick Mahomes, they will always have a shot.
You also said at the beginning of this year you might start seeing the cracks in Kansas City, and I think we are starting to see the cracks in Kansas City.
It all goes back to they paid too much.
Hey, you can't be perfect in the salary.
And
cap,
we all
right?
got to think about this too. They lost the Super Bowl last year. Every time a team loses a Super Bowl, the next year that they come out, they always sucked. They're always terrible the next year. Atlanta did it.
Yeah.
Philly did it.
Falcons went like 9-7.
Did the
No,
Rams- did the
Atlanta
Rams
went.
do it?
Oh no, you're right. They barely made the
They
playoffs.
barely, there
And
were
then they
3
lost.
NFC South teams that made the playoffs.
Did the Rams
They were
do it?
One of them.
The Rams did not make the
They ma-
playoffs
yeah,
the
they were
following
bad.
year. That was the year they went 7-9.
So then, who else? 2015 was the Seahawks.
No, 2015
that
was the
P-
Broncos.
Panthers. So the
Broncos
Panthers
and
lost.
Panthers were bad.
And then they missed the
next-
playoffs the next year. It
That
always
was when
happens.
The decline of Cam Newton started.
Yep.
So it stops where Seattle loses.
So maybe 2013 Broncos were the only exception because didn't they?
No, the Seattle made the playoffs the next year
No, Seattle won, remember?
when they
Seattle-
lost to the
Seattle
Patriots.
won in 2013.
When Seattle lost to the Patriots, they were still very good the next
Yeah,
season.
no, they were.
Same thing with the Broncos.
I was just saying if there are any exceptions.
There's
but-
always exceptions to the rule.
No, I'm saying,
but I
but
think,
but
yeah,
since then,
for the most
it's been
part, yeah.
exactly what we've just said.
for the most because we just went back 8 years.
Yeah, and it's basically
7 out of the 8 were really bad the next year. So
basically all of them. So at that point, I mean, there's a There's a built-in
I know,
narrative.
it's pissing me off too. It's like a little fruit fly. I can't get it. No, I think and the problems with Kansas City, it always comes back to they paid too much money. And I had the same problem with Dallas. And what Dallas has done to overcompensate for that, to kind of negate that, is by being good in the draft. And, getting Trayvon Diggs.
Micah Parsons.
They have Micah Parsons. They have Tony Pollard pretty much for free. You know what I mean? Like, they have all these pieces that have stepped up and really played well. I mean, I don't see it being a long-term fix, though, if they're going to pay too much. I think Zeke is finally playing better, which I know we kind of pivoted off of Kansas City, but I don't know if you guys want to go there.
They got a nice two-back thing going on now.
They do, and,
really
and
they look very good.
Their offensive line that everyone thought was shit has been playing really well.
Well, last year it was shit, and everybody thought it was great. So maybe
That's true.
Pieces were just not injured anymore.
What's up with Daniel Jones?
Oh God, that was
concussed.
bad.
The Giants, Giants fell apart on Sunday.
He might play this Sunday, but oh my God, when he got hit,
that was bad. When he got back up, and
stumbled, and there was like spit coming out of his mouth. Oh,
yeah, that's
God.
A scary scene.
That was it's not like he got hit directly on the head. He took it.
They fell on the
right
side.
here.
Yeah,
there was some whiplash.
And Galladay gets hurt. Barkley got everybody. I mean,
Barkley's ankle looked so bad.
People got injured all over the NFL this weekend, but that game was just insane. Sterling Shepard already wasn't playing. Apparently, Kadarius Toney has some kind of injury, which he had like 180 yards.
In one of my dynasty leagues, I had Edwards-Helaire and Barkley as my two running backs, so that was fun this week.
Yeah, and in our dynasty league, I had
Gibson and Gibson didn't get hurt, but yeah.
And then another league, I did a Barkley.
Oh,
not good.
I've never. I mean, as much as I think Barkley is like a tremendous talent, I just think he's too fragile at this point.
It's not safe enough.
When in a position that's already fragile as it is, with their shelf life being so short, I just think when you have injuries, multiple injuries to your legs.
All right,
I took him because I didn't think he was going to start off he wasn't going to start off great, but I thought he was going to pick it up toward the end of the season.
I mean, week 3 and 4, he had did 2 weeks and he got hurt and now he's out. So,
which I don't think this is a long-term injury. I don't think.
No,
it's just a sprain.
2 to 4 weeks. Which
yeah,
in the NFL, that's 4 games.
So you guys are probably going to have a top 5 pick. What is your ideal position if they were to pick that?
Hopefully we can actually make a good pick on an offensive lineman.
Okay.
It depends what the quarterbacks look like out of this draft, though, because if Jones...
Do you think he's the long-term solution, or...
It's hard to tell because I haven't got to see him compete with
teams
on a good team before, because he's shown flashes. He's an athletic quarterback.
I used to not like him a lot more, but I kind of come around on him this year a little bit, and I don't think he's done anything different. I just kind of
it's kind of just like their offense.
I kind of just realized that it's not him. Like, put a lot of quarterbacks.
That's true.
Put Derek Carr there. Like, how good is that team? Probably not that much better. Put Kirk Cousins there. They're not that much better. Like,
I don't think. I think
he's taking care of the ball a lot better this year too.
Yeah, I think what you said is like he's. I don't think he's the problem.
Yeah, I'd like to see him. I'll figure that out when I see him compete on a high level with the rest of his team in a big game.
But can they ever get to that point? Can they ever get the components to build around him is the question, I think. What? That commercial?
Yeah, you love that commercial.
This is my favorite commercial
the progressive
family.
The Transylvania.
I don't know. Every time it comes on, it puts a smile.
Well,
not many things in this world put a smile on my face. This commercial puts a smile.
That commercial and this podcast.
It's like let's see what he can do when his receivers have more than 5 seconds to get down the field.
True.
Yeah. I don't know.
He's one of the best running quarterbacks in the league.
I can't believe.
So weird.
I can't believe I said the Giants were winning that division this year on this podcast.
You're really confident in that.
I mean, I think we all said that they were going to win.
I was so confident in that. I thought they were leaps and bounds better than the rest of the teams in that division, and boy, was I wrong.
I had reservations about my prediction because I do like Dak and I like Dallas, but my reservation was with their defense, and then everyone was like, "Oh, well, their secondary sucks," and now they have Trayvon Diggs, who's
the best
defensive
corner ever.
player of the year, and he's going to be the greatest corner of all time. And it's like, oh shit,
Dallas looks amazing.
They're
really
leaps
good.
and bounds better than any team
But
in the
let's
NFC East
see
right
when
now.
they play a contender.
Will they play New England this week? I gotta talk about that game for a second. What the fuck is wrong with the Patriots?
Dallas is playing
In
New England.
Houston, yeah, they are.
Yeah, Dallas, New England this week in New England.
The NFC East and AFC East are not playing each other this year. I don't understand.
This is the exception.
This is what the extra game is, I guess.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah, maybe.
Weird.
Terrible play calling. Damian Harris fumbling on the 1 yard line. Davis Mills throwing all over your defense. Davis Mills throwing all over your defense. Give me a break, okay? They are so lucky Houston ran that shitty ass whatever pump play. The worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And got the ball in a short field, because without that, they're not scoring a touchdown, because they were not. You can't drive 60 yards on the Texans defense the whole entire game, and you get a lucky break in order to win. I cannot stand this Patriots team.
They're inconsistent at this
They
point.
are inconsistent, and I feel like they lack discipline. And Bill Belichick is like the most disciplined head coach in the league. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the disconnect between the team and whatever Belichick is saying, but it's not resonating right now. And I think they have a talented roster. I don't think it's like
his style aging.
Maybe.
It could be. And especially if you don't have a Brady there to, hammer home that point of everyone has to give 100% and there's no days off and all this other stuff. Without someone like that,
Because I think he can't relate to the younger players, which I think Brady in a way could, because Brady understood.
He did a great job.
People are like, "Oh my God, it's Tom!" Like they have a certain respect for Tom as like a player, because it's a player-to-player connection. Whereas when they see Belichick coming in, being, putting the hammer down and like doing what he normally does, he doesn't have Tom to back him up with the player side. So a lot of the players I don't think are buying into what the situation is. As much as like we may see it from the outside, we're like, oh, well, they all seem to say the right things and they say the same thing. They're like, oh, well, we wanted to play for Bill Belichick because we love the culture here. We love what the culture does. Right now, it's not doing anything for him. And did you see what Darrelle Revis said over the weekend?
I didn't enjoy my time in New England. It's like, bro, you won a championship.
Yeah, give the ring back then.
Yeah, literally.
Right? Give it back. If you didn't have fun.
Now you don't want to give it back? Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. You know what was so funny about that interview was he said he could see how they've made it to 10 Super Bowls like that. And he said, but at the end goes, but you don't have to do it that way. It's like, okay, then show me another team that went to 10 Super Bowls and tell me how they're doing it. Like, it's like, it was so contradictory in his little interview. And I was just like, he's like, he enjoyed his time with Rex Ryan more. I was like,
yeah, I bet you did.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Going 10-6 and then losing. Whatever.
And then you come to New England, win 15 games, and win a Super Bowl, and you didn't have fun. Sorry.
They only missed the playoffs and they went 10-6 because of the Brandon Marshall curse.
Mm-hmm.
Only reason.
God. I thought that interview was hilarious. And I find it weird now that this has happened where WEI has almost like gone against the Patriots.
They go against every team. You listen to Felder and Maz at any point?
No. But like usually WEI, like especially after, remember when they had that guy who said something about Brady's kid? Or whatever he said.
Oh yeah, the kid, the guy in the morning. I forgot what his name was.
He got ripped apart
Yep.
because you cannot say anything about Tom Brady or anything negative about Tom Brady. And now that he's gone, like their wolves are out. They're just like, and then they bring in Darrelle Revis to do this negative thing about, oh, Bill Belichick does this. The Patriots do everything the wrong way. It's like, are you kidding me? You're supposed to be like the hometown, biased team that every other city has. It's like, why are you guys the one? Let someone else do it. Let ESPN do it because they've been doing it for 20 years.
They're going against their home fans, which doesn't really make any sense.
That's what I was saying. And then the whole like going after Tom thing where they said Bill Belichick finally doesn't have a diva quarterback. That one really pissed me off. That one really pissed me off. I was like, shut the fuck up.
Our teams went against each other this week or last week. Carolina.
Yeah, Philly won. Carolina just couldn't pull away.
That was a terrible
Darnold
performance.
looked
He looked bad. He missed. He had a lot of Jets moments, like a lot of WTF moments, which he had a lot of on the Jets.
What is good with that team? Because they looked
Carolina
Carolina. They looked really good the first 3 weeks. And the last 2 weeks they have looked pretty bad. Are we calling frauds?
They were up most of the game too, and they just.
Well, I mean, because they're
all right. They've beaten. All right. Well, let's look at their schedule.
They haven't
beat great
really
teams.
anyone good.
They beat the Jets. Anyone should beat the Jets. They beat the Texans. Anyone should really beat the Texans. They beat the Saints. Pretty good win. I would.
Saints are.
Yeah, we can't tell.
I can't say.
The Saints are the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah. So they lost to Dallas, which I don't know. That's not a terrible loss. And then they lost to Philly, which.
I still think it's the second best team in that division. Let's see how far it takes them.
Atlanta is so bad.
Yeah, they're terrible.
I loved watching them getting fired up, beating on the Jets.
I
Sunday
hate
morning.
that team. I hate Matt Ryan. I hate Kyle Pitts. I just don't enjoy
Kyle
it.
Pitts finally looked like a monster.
Well, yeah, against the Jets. What a surprise!
Surprise.
That was
He's
the
a rookie. It's a big game for him.
No, it was. I mean, no Calvin Ridley either, so good for him. But at the same time, it's just like I don't want to talk shit about a rookie. Like he's got plenty of time to develop. Matt Ryan is just so old and so gross, and I'm all set with
Sad
Matt Ryan.
old man.
Literally.
Him and Big Ben have not aged well.
Matt Ryan is just not good in my opinion at all. I think he's like I honestly think he's like the 30th best quarterback in the league.
Oh, he's one of the
Yeah.
worst quarterbacks of all time.
100%.
Of all time.
One of the worst quarterbacks.
Somehow he'll be a Hall of
I
Famer.
really
too.
want to punch him in the face.
I'm not. He won an MVP, so somehow he'll be a fucking Hall of Famer. That's ridiculous.
There's no way he's
Is
gonna
Boomer Esiason in
Wait,
the
do
Hall
you
of Fame?
actually think he's going to be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Is Boomer Esiason in the Hall of
Is he-
Fame? Because
is-
he won an MVP.
Antonio, is he going to be in the Hall of Fame?
I don't know. Well, it's a matter of Matt Ryan's numbers too, because how long has Matt Ryan been in the league?
Yeah, I was gonna say accumulative numbers. Might
You're
put
right.
him
I
in.
think he's like 8th on the all-time passing list or something.
Oh, he's top 10. He's not
'Cause
8th.
he had an opportunity to I think he passed somebody
He's
else.
not higher than Eli Manning.
That's true.
I think he might be top 15.
But Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer. Matt Ryan is not. I don't care how many passing yards you have. If I play 40 years in the NFL, eventually I might get in the top 10 of the passing yards.
No.
What?
Boomer.
Is not in the Hall of Fame.
Not
so
in the
you
Hall of
can
Fame.
you can win MVP and go to a Super Bowl
But not make the Hall of Fame.
and not make the Hall of Fame.
If you give up that sort of a lead in a Super Bowl and lose a Super Bowl, you should not be in the Hall of Fame.
I agree, but he somehow will be.
They let anybody in there.
And that's the problem.
Not too many other games really to touch on. I mean, Jacksonville's still a dumpster fire. Don't really need to. I mean, Urban Meyer's just really horny. So.
Is Miami like throwing in the towel? Don't do that because Philly has your first round draft pick next year.
This year or next year?
This upcoming year. This upcoming
Philly
draft,
does?
Philly has the Miami.
Oh,
pick.
that sucks for them.
That's bad for them.
How did that happen?
It happened in a trade. I forget what trade it was, but they have it.
Damn, that's crazy. I did not know that actually. Yeah, I mean, at that point, of all the years to not tank, this is obviously the year. Then
I'm sure they expected to be fine at this point. I thought the defense was supposed to be good.
I've heard a lot of chatter lately about a Deshaun Watson to Miami happening.
Yeah, for
like
them, I
it's
hope it happens,
gotta
but he might
happen,
get
dude.
suspended as soon as he's on a team where he's going to be playing.
Well, the thing is, if he gets traded there and then gets suspended right after, I don't think that's fair. Because if he's getting suspended, why is he not serving a suspension right now?
Yeah, that's right. Antonio Brown served a suspension when he wasn't even on a team.
So I don't know.
In the off season,
Yeah.
he served a suspension in the off season.
I mean,
like July.
that's exactly what you need if you're Miami. You need a quarterback that can actually throw the football, not Jacoby
That's why
Brissett and not Tua.
I hate the NFL. And if you guys want to get into the John Gruden thing, we can get into the John Gruden thing. I want to touch on it a little bit. Why are they not more consistent?
Because it's Roger Goodell, and he picks and chooses his battles and who he wants. I mean, you said it. He called Goodell a faggot in one of the emails. So at that point, it's like, I mean, seriously, like Goodell's. If you were John Gruden's overlord,
What?
I don't even think that's so funny. If you're Gruden's overlord and you see that, you're obviously gonna be pissed about it. And if you have the ability to like get him fired, you're gonna do it. Like if
But back in 2011, though,
we live in a day and an age where it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I guess not. And shame on ESPN for calling him out and saying all that stuff when he was an employee of ESPN at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me so here was my thing, right? You're telling me this is the first time anyone saw this email?
Nope. Well, the other thing people are mad about too is Dan Snyder.
So yeah, because that was the president of Washington Football Operations.
So there was a whole investigation, and they came to the conclusion that nothing was done wrong and blah, blah, blah. They never released to the public their whole findings. So it's like, what did he email about, or what did he say? Or, I mean, because he's probably lining Goodell's pockets. Goodell's like, all right, well, we're going to turn a blind eye to this one and not really worry about it.
Yeah,
so.
I think it gets into a really dangerous, whether you agree or disagree with what happened. I think everyone can agree that what John Gruden did was wrong, and it definitely is not something that you want. But at the same time, you have to be very careful if you're the NFL to pick and choose your battles of which ones you want to bring to light and which ones you don't. So now that we've seen Tyreek Hill had domestic violence cases against him, right? Child abuse cases against him, but since he runs a 5.42 40 and is on a Super Bowl winning team, it kind of gets swept to the side, does not get suspended. Then you look at Kareem Hunt, literally video of him pushing a woman and kicking a woman, that gets swept to the side because he's a really good football player. And then you see the John Gruden thing, and my gripe was with what happened was, I don't know if you guys caught it, but in the NBC broadcast when the Kansas City and Buffalo game was going on, there was a delay at halftime, so they kind of had to riff a little bit with what their broadcast was talking about, and Mike Tirico and Drew Brees and that cast was talking about it. And they brought in the referee guy. I don't know what his name is. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But he said that the league said they can't really do anything about it because he wasn't an employee of the league. Can you not come in here, Mom? All right, so then get out. Oh my God, you can wait till after. All right, so then, right in the middle of that, they say they can't really do anything about it because he wasn't employed by the league. Okay, he wasn't employed by the league. We can't suspend him. We can't do anything about it. The Raiders also come out and say he wasn't an employee of us back in 2011, so there's not really much we can do about it. Then the next day, they play shitty. Monday morning comes and he resigns. He did not resign on his own. I think we can all agree on that.
No, Mark Davis went in there and talked to him, and
it was like either you do this, or
that was the problem I had with it. Is okay, you say you're not going to do anything about it, but then the next day you make him resign. So
I think
it's consistency is the problem.
Here's my thing is that, yeah, it's 8 years ago, but when you're John Gruden and you're the coach and leader of this football team, and pretty much all your players are black, like, how's that going to be in the locker room?
Yeah, and I don't know. It's a very slippery slope. I think it's like, okay,
it definitely.
Now
is.
I
hate to see it because he was an incredibly entertaining coach and commentator.
And
so
they were finally turning that team around.
But he did.
They were finally turning that team around. They were playing good football. They're 3-1. I think
it was exciting.
The
Raiders were exciting. They were good, and John Gruden was the coach.
It was a huge distraction to the team, and they played very badly against the Bears, which I think you could tell that they were very distracted, and they really didn't have a good game plan going into that game, and it showed. So then maybe it was that forced them to be like, okay, maybe you should resign if this is going to continue to be a distraction for the team. Again, I know that the NFL hasn't released everything that they found. I think that's a very interesting and juicy thing. I know the NFLPA requested that the NFL release the whole thing. I don't think they're going to, but I don't know. I think we have to be very careful about where we go with this whole situation.
My whole thing is Goodell can do whatever he wants, and he's going to continue doing whatever he wants, and he's proven over the course of his tenure that he does whatever he wants. So as unfortunate and annoying as it is, Goodell will Goodell, and there's not much any of us can do about it. So I agree with your points, but it's the NFL and not much changes. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. Cancel culture strikes again.
All right. I don't know. Anything else you guys want to talk about from last week? Oh, Russ got injured on Thursday.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
The funny thing was they looked better when Russell wasn't in there.
Geno Smith
let
him on that touchdown.
Yeah,
drive.
He came in and immediately let him on a touchdown drive. I was like, what? That didn't
I feel like sometimes it's not even about who goes in there and what happens. Sometimes that is just a jolt of energy.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a game and you have nothing going for you and you just change something, it happens. It happens in hockey when, you're getting scored on and nothing's going your way. You change the goalie. Not necessarily that the goalie that you put in there is way better. It just it lifts something with the team. You know what I mean? I think that was that situation.
Seattle's done for this year.
Yeah, they suck.
I mean,
if Russ is going to be out for
6 weeks,
good. It makes the NFC West, a little.
Trey Lance did
bit
not
easier.
look good.
I think the two worst teams right now are Seattle and San Fran. Those are the two worst teams.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Rams
so.
Rams and Arizona are definitely better than both of them by far.
And I think as the weeks go on, it's just gonna
Arizona
keep growing.
I mean, even though it was rookie quarterback in his first game, Arizona showed us that they can win a game with their defense. They're versatile. That makes them extremely dangerous.
I'm so excited to talk about this week's Rams.
Me too. I think with the Trey Lance thing, I think it's not even a matter of if he's good or not.
He needs time. He didn't play all last year.
He needs time, and that's the problem. If San Fran wants to win now, but they want to play Trey Lance, you're gonna have to pick one. So I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna stick with Trey Lance. I don't think they're gonna pick to win now.
All right,
they can't.
Go ahead.
I'm saying because they can't. They can't win now.
I'm making an executive decision. We're not talking about Pittsburgh, Denver, or Detroit, Minnesota, or New Orleans,
Teddy
Washington.
check down.
So
Broncos
we
suck.
should give our picks for it at least.
Broncos suck.
No. I'm saying from last week.
Oh,
I don't see any.
Yeah, no reason. Broncos suck. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't understand.
This week, let's go. Let's get it, gentlemen. Thursday night. Tommy no cover Brady in prime time.
That was what I was gonna say before. Saying you get to test it out this week.
Oh,
you said.
I said he's due. I did say he's due. So now I know what my pick is. It's against my team though. At Philly, in Philly.
I think in this circumstance it's okay though.
Plus 7 for the Philadelphia Eagles
Why is it
at
7?
home. Over under of 52. We have 70% of the money on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Thursday night. You love the Buccaneers.
Yes.
Yeah. We all do.
The Buccaneers are gonna kill them. Buccaneers are gonna kill them.
I gotta take the Buccaneers because I said Brady's due. That's the only reason
He's
I'm picking this
due,
game.
and it should not. It should be more than 7.
Onslaught.
It should be more than 7. I think they're giving a lot of respect to the Eagles here. I don't think that they have a roster that matches up anywhere near what the Bucs have.
I like the over in this jam.
Oh yeah.
I like the over for the simple fact that the Bucs are gonna win 54-0.
Jesus.
Dude, the Bucs are way better.
Their defense doesn't look good though.
I think they're gonna move the ball very easily on Philly.
will.
But the thing is, I could see it being like
Leonard Fournette is gonna have.
It could be
I
like
could see
45 to 20.
I could see it being like 28-17 with like 2 minutes left, and then Jalen Hurts scores a garbage touchdown to cover the 7. Like it could be like
No, this does not have backdoor cover written all
No,
over.
it
What's the
doesn't.
money at?
70-30 Tampa Bay.
We're good.
Tampa Bay's covering by $1 million.
I'm taking Tampa Bay, but I definitely can see. I don't think Philadelphia. So the thing is, I don't think Philadelphia wins this game in any realm. But maybe they have a chance to keep it close. But why? If you think Tampa Bay's going to win, and I mean, chances are they're going to win big. Why not just take Tampa?
The only scenario that I see them keeping it close is in the first half if the Bucs come out slow,
Which is possible. I mean,
which is possible.
Their secondary is really bad right now.
Which like the Bucs are may just be lackadaisical in the first half, like how Kansas City was against the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
But then in the second half, they're gonna be like, no. Which so with Brady, it might eliminate that altogether. They might just come out and just hammer them.
Round of Tampa,
Round of Tampa. We always agree on these Thursday night games.
except for me last week. I had to be different. Bit me in the ass.
That's all right. Happens.
London, 9:30 in the morning. Another terrible London game.
Wake up
they
to
back
football.
to back the London games.
We have the Miami Dolphins heading to London to play Jacksonville. Miami is a 3-point favorite.
When do we stop picking Jacksonville?
That's my question because I have to take them again.
I'm gonna take them again.
Like we have to take them again because they're gonna.
I think this is where they get their first win.
I mean, come on, they're like London's team.
Miami looked bad. That's very true. Miami looked bad.
This might be Jacksonville.
Jacksonville looked 10 times worse, bro. 10 times. Bro, a minute into the game, they had a fumble return for a touchdown.
Who's got a better quarterback? Give me Jacksonville.
All right. That's enough for me.
I'm in
this
agreement.
game is terrible.
I mean,
I'll never care if I'm wrong about this game. I'll never care.
Does it count as cheating if you're overseas? That's what Urban Meyer needs to know.
What? If he's in a bar overseas?
Yeah, like that doesn't count.
Does it count? I mean,
there's a whole ocean between you and your wife.
I mean, I guess not. He's gonna be really horny in a London bar, dude. If I hear anything about him not getting on the team plane, I'm gonna be like, oh shit.
I'm gonna ride with the horny boy and take Jacksonville. That's all.
Horny always wins.
Is he gonna win an NFL game?
Yes.
Let's see.
This week.
If it's any week, it's this week. If he
London, yeah.
I see a gross 19-17 Jags win.
Oh yeah.
I hate to bring this
London
up, but you
games.
said the lock of the week last week was the first half under in the London game, and the over cash by half a point.
That sucks.
And
what was it, like 10 and a half?
It was 22 and a half, and they scored 23 in the first.
That sucks.
Rams at Antonio's Giants. Spread is -9.5 for the Los Angeles
Rams. Should be like
Rams.
12 or 13, no?
Yeah.
Is it just because it's a west going east?
At 1 o'clock, I guess.
It's not gonna be a pretty game on Sunday.
It's really hard to take the Giants.
You're not gonna want to be at the Meadowlands if you're
not
a
with
Giants fan
I mean,
on
even
Sunday.
if Daniel Jones is playing.
Yeah, it's probably not gonna be enough because
they don't have.
You don't know how fucked up he is, and
they don't have Galladay. They don't have Saquon.
Tony had like 180 yards on Sunday against Dallas. Make that face. He was a 10th overall pick. No, he sucks.
No, I'm not saying he sucks. I'm just saying like.
No, it's not enough.
If that's the evidence that you're gonna.
I'm not taking the Giants.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, the Rams. Yeah.
But the Giants cover when I don't take them.
I don't care. I'm like, if I'm wrong about this game, fine, because you know what, 100% of the population is gonna be wrong if I'm wrong.
Oh yeah.
No one's betting the Jets here, bro.
Giants.
No one would bet the Jets either.
No one's betting the Giants here. I said Jets because I never bet the Jets anyway.
This game sucks. I really don't know. The Giants do not win this game in any shape or form, and the Rams also probably put up 30. So why would they not?
Giants win, exactly.
Yeah, why would they not cover? So
they won't score more than 15 points. The Giants.
I'm gonna do the sensible thing, and normally I don't, and I'm gonna take the Rams.
It normally sounds like Vegas is taking all of it.
I don't care right now. Like,
there's no receiving core right now because they're all hurt. And one of those guys, whatever decent one you have, is going to be covered by Jalen Ramsey.
Where do the Giants' points come from in this game?
It might be smart for Daniel Jones not to play.
Love the under in this game.
If I'm coming off a concussion, I don't want to see number 99 running at me at full speed.
Oh.
I don't want to see that Coke machine with legs.
Eaten alive.
I don't want to see that Coke machine with legs coming full speed at me through my fragmented offensive line. So, yeah, no, I'm good because Daniel Jones might not play. Daniel Jones might not play for that simple fact.
I really hope he doesn't play now that you say that.
All right, so we're 3 for 3.
We've agreed on all 3 games to start. Houston, +10, going to Indy. We have an over-under of 43.
43.
This game is disgusting as well.
I'm going to take Houston because these are 2 really bad teams. Big spread. I think this is a close, ugly game.
I just think Indy's got to show something, and they're probably pissed from last week. So I'm just
give me the Colts.
I'm going to take the Colts. I don't like it.
All right, I'll be on the lonely island for this one. I think it's too many points for 2 shitty teams.
This went the predictable way, didn't it? A Colts game.
What?
You picked it against the Colts, and we picked the Colts. It's nothing new.
Nothing new, I guess. Because you look at are the Colts ever covering a 10-point spread?
That was funny. Why can't they? Their defense looked really good on Monday night, and they're gonna score 24, 27.
Yeah, no, their defense looked really good when Lamar was throwing all over them in the second
Indianapolis
half.
is not
They held them to
bad.
3 in the first half.
It doesn't matter if you don't win. It doesn't matter if you hold them the entire game. If you hold them for 49 minutes and then in that 50th minute they just run all over you and they get Lamar threw for 470 something yards.
I got
472.
I think
a guy that can't throw.
I think
apparently.
they were still impressive on Monday, but I mean, it's the Colts at home and Houston Sox, so I'm gonna take the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we don't disagree on this one, or we don't agree on this one.
Kansas City going to Washington.
Oh my God, Kansas City by a million.
Kansas City minus
snot.
-6.5 at Washington. Over under 55.
Kick the snot out of Washington.
Yeah, I think even with all their losses, the fact that they're still 6.5 points favorite on the road after losing.
They're not losing. Yeah, they're not losing to the next best team in the AFC like that, and then just laying another egg
You're not
against
going
Washington.
to sit here and take Washington.
I'm taking Washington in this game. I just don't believe. I can't believe in this Chiefs team right now. I can't.
But you'll believe in this Washington team?
It's less of a pick on Washington, and it's more of a pick
You're
against.
telling me because I love Taylor Heineke.
It's more of a pick against Kansas City right now. I cannot trust Kansas City. I can't. I cannot do it.
And that's why you should love Kansas City in this game.
I have a poster.
Antonio, I'm wrong about basically everything. So I'm probably going to be wrong about this game. You cannot bet on this team with the way their defense is right now. Washington's going to score 30 points in this game. And they're going to move the ball the whole entire game.
I am going to disagree. I think Kansas City's defense actually does look good against this team.
I don't think Kansas City's defense can look good against anybody.
But hey, this is coming from a guy, I have a Taylor Heineke poster in my bedroom. So I love that dude. But I think Kansas City is going to turn it up a notch this Sunday.
We will see. Minnesota at Carolina. Spread open at -3 Carolina. Anyone want to guess what it is now?
5.5.
-1 for Minnesota.
Oh.
Went the other way.
Why?
Because Minnesota's winning. I'm going to take Minnesota.
Is Dalvin Cook okay?
I don't know. He loves doing this, though.
He loves, waking up on Sunday morning and being
He's just ow, my auntie.
Yeah, he's like, ow.
No, I actually really like Minnesota in this game. I think after their win last week, they got some good momentum. 1 o'clock game, so don't have to worry about prime time for Kirk.
Far away from prime time.
I think we're a little overvaluing Carolina. I think starting off 3-0, and especially the primetime game against Houston where they covered, everyone has a good, mental image of Carolina and thinks they're a really good team. I think they're about a 500 team, so I'm gonna take Minnesota on this game.
What's good with Christian McCaffrey?
He might play. He is probably going to play this week if I had to guess. Not definitely, but probably.
It changes a lot because it's a totally different offense when he's there.
100%. But I still like Minnesota.
I'm leaning toward Minnesota as well.
Minnesota,
but I mean,
Minnesota.
You know what? McCaffrey's there. It's hard to pick against them.
I don't know. This game, so much is up in the air.
My brain really.
If Dalvin plays, it looks a lot different. If McCaffrey plays, it looks a lot different.
My brain is really telling me
3.5 to 1.5.
It went from -3 Carolina to -1
to +1.5 Carolina.
Get it off my chest, Vikings.
Is it? It's in Carolina.
Yes.
No one's like north or south.
It's like, oh, dude, what's the weather gonna be like? Okay, is Sam Darnold gonna feel okay?
I'll give you a money update too, very quickly.
It's probably like 50-40. It's probably not even crazy.
55-45 Carolina.
Whatever. All right, give me the Vikings.
We have a round of Vikings. All right, this game we're all going to disagree upon. Chargers +3 at Baltimore. Spread is 50.
Great game.
Spread is 3, obviously.
We're gonna disagree on this one.
Over under is 51.5. I think we are.
So you like Baltimore?
I do like Baltimore in this game.
The couches team Baltimore. This is a head over heart thing right here.
Yeah. I just think it makes too much sense to take the Chargers in this spot.
I do too.
So you gotta take the Ravens.
The Ravens are like, hey, you're the new kid. We've been here for a couple of years.
And it's the Ravens at home, getting a favored by a field goal. So I'm gonna take Baltimore.
Do we think this is a shootout?
No.
You don't think so?
I think this is 27-21 Baltimore.
Okay, does the Ravens have the capabilities in the backfield to cover the big receivers like Keenan Allen and Mike Williams?
I think so, because they can put Jimmy Smith or their other I forgot who their other corner is, but he's actually pretty decently sized too, so I'm not worried about it.
Would they have an answer for Austin Eckler? Because Austin Eckler
is a man.
He's been like making a case for one of the best running backs in the game. So I mean, dude, this is a tough one because
you're taking the Chargers.
I mean, I want to, but at the same time,
I want to take the Chargers too, but
Baltimore plays good at home because they're at home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're +3 at home.
No, -3.
-3 at home. Dude, I love the Chargers too when they're underdogs. The Underdog Sports Podcast. All right, fine. I'll take the Chargers. Fuck it. I believe a lot more in Justin Herbert, and I think they're a wagon right now.
So this next game,
and they really have to stay ahead of the Chiefs if the Chiefs are going to turn it around.
They do.
They really want to keep.
I think that division's going to be close at the end of the season, though.
And now that the Chargers have the tie break, that's interesting. Because if it comes down to the end and the Chargers end up getting a bye.
I don't think the Chargers even want to bye. Like, honestly.
They don't give a shit.
Oh, man. But if they do, though, think about that.
They're obviously going to play for the 1 seed.
Yeah. No, I get it. Cincy at Detroit. Cincy is a 3.5-point favorite.
They love being 3 or 3.5 point, either favorites or underdogs. It's always a field goal.
I feel like,
I think that's fair because they're a very
not
competitive team.
And I feel like sometimes too they don't give them the respect they deserve. Why is this 3 points?
Because everyone loves the Lions.
We're on the same page. They're a very good 0-5 team.
Do you think it's that?
Yeah. Tell me a person that doesn't like the Lions this year.
So they saw Dan Campbell cry on national TV and they were just like, yeah, this is a 3-point spread.
I think it's way more than that, obviously. But
what did it open as?
They play hard, and they play teams close.
Cincy -1.
What? So it went up to 3.
Yeah. Well, yeah, everyone's betting on Cincinnati, I guess. It's 60-40 Cincy, but
it started at -1.
It also feels like
they almost beat
the
Packers team that went to the NFC Championship game.
It feels so Cincinnati to drop a game that they shouldn't. You know what I mean? And this is a competitive 0-5
I can see myself watching Red Zone on Sunday, and it's just into the Detroit game, and then and then it's DeAndre Swift running in for a 10-yard touchdown, and then it's a tie ball game.
I hate it because I love Burrow and I love the Bengals, but I'm gonna take Detroit.
I need to hear who Nolan's taking. This is a mindfuck.
I hate the games this week.
This is a mindfuck.
It is.
This week is a mindfuck.
This game is a mindfuck.
All these games
are going
against
fucks. Many beliefs.
I can't fathom how it opens as a 1-point spread. I can't fathom that.
Right?
I can't. With the way that Cincy has played.
Cincy is going to move the ball on this team, so I'm going to again do the sensible pick, and I'm going to take Cincinnati. I don't like it.
The 3 points scares me.
I actually hate it, but I'm going to take Cincinnati.
I'm going to take Cincinnati for the simple fact of Cincinnati either blows them out of the water or this is a field goal at the end.
You took Cincinnati?
Took Detroit.
Because it's either Cincy blows them out of the water or this is a push.
It's 3.5. It's not 3.
Oh, it's 3.5? Oh. Fuck. I guess,
Fuck.
I'm done. I'm done picking the Lions. I'm going to take Cincy. Fuck it. I'm done picking the Lions.
I haven't picked the Lions yet.
We've picked the Lions.
I haven't.
Yeah, you have. We was it last week or the week before we did? Me and you did. We were like, I love the Lions.
Secret.
It was last week because they were a 3-point underdog.
Damn it.
Wasn't it?
I think it was.
No, I picked the
no.
Vikings.
No, yeah, he took the Vikings. It was
Then it was the week before.
So it was 9. It was 9 points.
I specifically remember because he went against us and we loved the Lions. I think it was the week before.
Oh, well, yeah, they were 3-point dogs in Chicago, but they didn't cover.
I think that.
Oh yeah, that's right. We hate Chicago.
Fuck Chicago.
Well, speaking of Chicago at home against Green Bay.
Chicago.
No, you're not.
Chicago is a plus 4.5.
No, if it was a night game, I'd pick Chicago.
Why?
Chicago.
That's just how Green Bay and Chicago games go.
A plus.
It's like the Giants and Cowboys.
All right, let's try that again. Chicago is a plus 4.5 point underdog. Over under is 44. I'm going to take the Bears and the over in this game.
Life's too short to bet the under.
I kind of want to take the Bears.
Take the Bears. Do it.
This is my ASMR channel. You're gonna take the Bears?
Take the Bears. Do it. It's the right pick.
I saw it and I'm like, that one could be in my pick 3.
The Bears?
Da Bears.
Da Bears.
You've been picking.
Well,
Green
so
Bay
I can't because of things that happened, and we can't. The Raiders isn't a thing anymore. So I'm gonna say the Raiders. So now we got the Bears.
Raiders.
Okay, this week we're taking the Bears.
All right. Double Bears for the couch.
I'm surprised because
their defense looked good. Their
they're
defense looked very good last week.
3.5 point underdogs at home.
And if they can get a little bit of offense,
4.5.
They made the playoffs last year, right? We hate the Bears, but didn't they make the playoffs last year?
They did.
The defense is legit.
But they haven't shown that same team to me yet.
Well, they weren't a
So
good
did they do
playoff
it against
team.
the Packers? And I hate both these teams. I hate the Bears and the Packers, but I really, really hate the Packers. I hate the Packers more than I think I hate any team ever.
Wow.
This year, I just hate them. And I know Antonio hates them too.
It sucks that
But
they're
I've
go-
been picking them.
It sucks that they're going to the Super Bowl.
They're not going to the Super Bowl. Stop.
I'm
saying that.
sorry. I'm sorry. It sucks that they're winning the Super Bowl.
They're the 4th best team in the NFC
Who's your pick?
in this game.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Round of Chicago. 4:00 games. Best game of the week. Arizona traveling to Cleveland. Cleveland is a 3-point favorite.
This is the best game of the week.
Yeah. Undefeated against Cleveland? Come on. How is it not?
Baltimore and Chargers give it a run for its money.
It could be either or.
It could be either or, but this is the game I want to see.
3-point favorite Cleveland at home. Over under is 49.5. I love Cleveland. This is Arizona's first loss of the season.
I like you this week.
You guys gonna start making out?
It's the couch. I'm telling you. We just have like a connection right here.
Yeah, no, I love Arizona to get their first loss this season, and I love Cleveland in this game.
Give me Arizona. I've rode Arizona this entire season.
Ride
I'm
'em.
right every single time, and I'm gonna take Arizona again. I can't foresee a situation where Arizona loses this game.
They have incredible defense. Cleveland does so.
Yes, so does Arizona. I think Baker Mayfield throws 3 interceptions this weekend.
Fine.
All right. Dallas at New England. I want Antonio to put this game first. Dallas is a 3.5 point favorite in New England.
The smirk he gave.
Yeah, no, no matter what the spread was, I'm picking the Pats.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm also taking the Patriots. And I take the Patriots every week, but I really like the Patriots this week.
I'll never
Cowboys.
bet against the Patriots at home.
It's so stupid to say because I shit talked them at the beginning of the podcast. I don't care.
I'll never pick against the Patriots at home, but at the same time, I'm not gonna be surprised if Dallas goes in there and beats the shit out of the Patriots.
This game is going under.
Yes.
This is like 7-14.
Because Dallas's defense has looked pretty good. Not great, but good. They have stars and names. Trayvon Diggs has 6 picks through 5 games.
The Patriots are winning.
You can lead the league.
I think they're gonna stay
picks
away from
with
Trayvon
6.
Diggs, and Mac Jones doesn't throw deep balls, so I don't think Diggs gets.
What
it.
Dallas defense?
Well, I told you, Patriots
What Dallas defends, New England doesn't even try. So it's not like they're like negating what New England does.
I think Bill Belichick is licking his chops at this matchup this weekend. I think he's going to have a perfect game plan for it. Whether or not they execute that game plan is up to the players, but I think they'll have a solid game plan. They always do at home in these sort of games.
The next pick on the board is so easy for me. The Raiders at the Broncos. The Broncos are 3.5-point favorites.
Yeah.
Coach just got fired. Give me the Raiders. That's the easiest pick ever.
Now that the distraction's gone,
they talked up I forget his name, but they talked up the new coach so much.
I don't even care.
Wasn't he the special teams coach?
He could be the strength and conditioning coach, and I don't care.
I think he was the special teams coach.
You know, Derek Carr is like, all the players. Like, Derek Carr gave like a really good speech this week at some point. Like, I think the Broncos,
which is weird because I think Derek Carr was like a huge John Gruden fan.
Oh, I think he definitely was. You heard the way he talked about him in the interview, but he's like, motivate my guys type of guy. So I think he's the leader in that. I was gonna say clubhouse, that dugout.
That dugout.
Yeah.
That sideline?
Yeah, in the locker room. I think he probably gave a nice speech to the team this week. They're a lot better than the Broncos, so I am taking the Raiders. The Raiders.
I don't like that they have to go to Denver here.
Fair.
So I'm going to take the Lonely Island on this one. I think
it's a lot of me and Antonio on one side and you on another side this week.
Usually when that happens, I'm wrong about everything. So you know what? Fine.
Plenty of season left. So as you well know,
I'm in front right now.
You can go very streaky and very hot and cold. So we'll see. Seattle with Geno +5 in Pittsburgh on Sunday night.
I can't believe this is a Sunday night game.
I can't believe the line's only 5.
But this sucks because like this was a good matchup when they were looking at it before the season started.
Oh yeah.
What?
I love Pittsburgh.
I do too. I mean, like you're facing a backup quarterback.
No. Sal, I love Geno Smith.
Really?
In this situation, I do. I think you know what? He's been sick and tired of hearing it.
As soon as those words came out of my mouth, it felt wrong. So I'm taking Seattle.
I love Seattle.
As soon as I said that, it just felt incorrect. So I'm gonna go against my original thought, and I'm taking Seattle here.
I think Seattle's been playing they've been playing some really tough games.
I can just so see it wherever. I said this about last Sunday night's game too. I can so see it where everyone's hopping on the Pittsburgh bandwagon again, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Pittsburgh, they're back.
I'm not
they're
taking
this."
the bait.
I don't think Pittsburgh's back at all.
I'm not taking the bait.
I just like Pittsburgh.
Because I know that if Pittsburgh goes out and wins, people are going to start taking the bait again. And I'm not going to.
I'll take Seattle +5.
I've seen what I've seen with Ben Roethlisberger.
The thing is, too, it's a Sunday night game. So it's like at the end of the night, if you're trying to chase and like you've lost your 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock bets, who are you throwing your money on? You're not throwing your money on Geno Smith. You're throwing your money on Pittsburgh.
So Vegas is going to take the rest of it.
So they'll gladly let Seattle win that game. Or how many money line parlays have Pittsburgh beating Seattle? All of them?
Probably a lot of them. And I think that they cover that 5.5.
5.
5, whatever. 5 is an ugly spread. I hate when it's 5, but I think that they cover that 5.
All right, last game.
I think it's a lot of points for two very mediocre teams.
Buffalo at the Titans. Buffalo's a 5.5-point favorite.
This is the Monday?
This is Monday night. Over-under is 54.
The Titans played down against bad teams, and they play tough against good teams, and they even... Seattle at the time, whether you want to consider them good or bad or not. But
count of 3. Me and you say your pick. 1, 2, 3. Titans.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be a close game. I think the Bills win, but it's going to be a close game.
Because I thought I was going to be the Lonely Island this one.
You like the Titans too?
I do.
Yeah, I like the Titans.
Game. What's the spread? Is it
5.5?
5.5, yeah.
I mean, if we think it's what we think it's going to be, I don't think the Sunday night game is going to be very close. So if the Sunday night game
Monday
is not
night
very,
games are normally pretty good, I think.
And they've been pretty good. So I'm going to continue that train. I'm going to ride that wave, and we'll see. I think Titans cover. I don't think they win.
No,
I think the Titans cover.
Agree.
I think the Titans have a chance to win the game on the field. And I've been talking a lot of shit about the Titans, but I think this is a good spot for them because Buffalo had their Super Bowl last week playing Kansas City. Now they have to go on the road in primetime to Tennessee
And Tennessee believes that they're a top contender.
Yeah, Tennessee easily thinks they can beat Buffalo, and Derrick Henry could run all over them. So I really do like Tennessee.
And it's worked because we said the same thing when the Rams beat the Bucks, and the next week they had a tough matchup, but we like that scenario where they go out and they're like, they prove themselves. They're like, yeah, we're the best team, and then the next week they disappoint. Mm-hmm. So I do like that narrative. Do they get A.J. Brown and Julio?
Julio is questionable. A.J. Brown played last week, and he, as far as I know, will be in the lineup this week.
I don't think he had very many.
He had 3 touches for 30 yards.
I think he gets more involved in this game.
Any further thoughts about anything? Life?
So I like
God?
So I think the games that
Chick-fil-A?
The games that
I'm
wasn't
getting Chick-fil-A after this.
Ooh, I might too.
The games that I wasn't on the Lonely Island for, you guys just all three of us agreed.
There was like 1 or 2 games where me and you agreed, and he was on the Lonely Island. I don't think I was on the Lonely Island one time.
Which one?
I was on my own for the Lions. That might have been it.
There was one other one. It doesn't matter though.
Was it the Steelers? I don't know.
Yes, you were
correct.
correct.
We picked the Seahawks.
We picked the Seahawks. He picked the Steelers.
Okay, like it.
All right, week 5 last week, Nolan went 6-9-1 overall, but 2-0-1 for pick 3. I was 7-8-1 and 1-2 for pick 3. Antonio with the meek 5-10-1 and 0-2-1 for pick 3. Year to date, Nolan is 35-43-2, 8-6-1 in pick 3. I am 40-38-2, 8-7 in pick 3. Antonio is also 35-43-2 with Nolan, and also 8-6-1 on pick 3.
That's crazy.
So you guys are kind of fingering each other right now.
Like how crazy is that we have the same exact record on both?
We never pick the same teams either.
No,
that's true.
Never.
Like, I never agree with Antonio.
You are in the lead. Well, you're both tied for the lead, but you had the most wins last week, so we're gonna let you pick the order first. So Nolan, the floor is yours.
I'm gonna let Antonio go first.
So Antonio, the floor is yours.
All right. I love the Steelers against the Seahawks.
That's your pick 3?
I do.
Wow.
Okay.
Chiefs are in there as well. I think they're gonna beat the shit out of Washington. They're gonna beat the shit out of Washington. I love the Bears. It's a nice, simple, and quick.
All right.
You don't.
Salvatore.
All right. I'm looking right at the camera right now. I'm looking at you people. I've been shit the last 2 weeks, maybe the last 3 weeks. This is where we turn around right here.
All right, we get on our high horse.
We're getting on our high horse right now. Minnesota -1 at Carolina. Carolina is fraudulent. Minnesota's winning that game.
Okay.
That's the only thing that I need is Minnesota to win, so I'm taking Minnesota. Game number 2, Cleveland -3 at home. I don't know. You picked Arizona.
I almost put them in there.
I don't think Arizona wins at all. I'm taking Cleveland. This is Arizona's first loss this season. Cleveland beats them by 10.
Okay.
Third and final pick, I am trying to decide between 2, but I'm going to take the team that I did not think I was going to take. New England +3.5.
Yes.
They are coming out and kicking the shit out of the Dallas Cowboys.
Kick the shit. I hope they do.
This is the week for New England. This is their big one of the year.
I want to see Mac Attack have his big day.
3-0. That's
All
a
right,
promise.
So I am with one of you on one of my picks, and I'm against one of you in one of my picks.
You're on New England.
Nope. So first pick is one that neither of you have, and one that I am pretty confident in, and that's Houston +10.
Wow.
I think it's one of those things where it's like how can 2 shitty teams and then a shitty team versus a shittier team cover a 10-point spread? I just don't think that that's the case.
One's a lot shittier.
I think it's an ugly game, and I think it's within 10 points. I don't think Houston wins. I think the Colts win, but I don't think it's by more than 10 points. So I'm going to go with that. Next up, I'm against you, sir.
You
Carolina
have
+1.
Oh, wow.
I think Carolina, barring Christian McCaffrey coming back, which I think he will, I think they're going to play well. They're going to play well. They're going to show us the glimpses that they showed in the beginning of the season. And I think they play well because I think Minnesota is bad, and I think Carolina is better.
Interesting.
And the one that I'm with, Kansas City, -6.5.
You're with them, yeah.
They have something to prove, and they're going to come out and beat the shit out of Washington.
Yeah, they get to play Washington. So.
They get to play Washington. They're going to move the ball so well. It may be close in the beginning of the game, but we all know what Kansas City does in the third quarter, and I think they're gonna end up winning by probably 20. So that's it.
See it.
I think
that's all she wrote.
I feel good.
I feel great. I'm going 3-0.
Feel good.
I'm going 3-0 this week. I don't know about you two.
Actually, you know what? I don't feel good about this week. I don't like the matchups this week. I don't like my picks. I don't like
3-0
spreads.
3-0 or your money back this week. That is my guarantee.
Oh shit.
Or your money back.
Or your money back. That's a big statement.
That's a huge statement.
You're gonna have some Venmo requests after this weekend, I think.
None. They're all gonna be sending me money.
You're gonna be like, thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're gonna build a statue of you somewhere.
Someone who
just hit on $100,000 parlay. Here's 70,000 of itself. Thank you so much.
Whoever's betting a 3-team parlay this week of all three of my games is going to make a lot of money. That's all I'm saying.
All right, we'll see if that comes true. Antonio, you're cute. All right.